How's it going? Yeah, I'm back. Probably a little sooner than I expected. But I thought, what the hell? I don't usually do straight finds videos these days, but I thought this would be a good one to at least talk about. I don't know if it'd be good to listen to. Yeah, my wife and I got back here a little while ago from Buffalo, New York. We were visiting family on her side and spent a long weekend there. And yeah, I managed to hit some shops solo and with my wife. So yeah, I'm just going to run through these. Buffalo is an interesting city. I think we both kind of immediately liked it. Uh, yeah, and the shops, I wouldn't have thought there's a pretty deep variety of shops there. There seemed to be a lot. I think I went to overall 5, but it seems like there were at least 4 or 5 others that have potential that I didn't go to in Buffalo or Buffalo area. So yeah, I just want to give the rundown real quick on the stuff I found, and probably my wife's too. Yeah, hers are right here. But we ended up coming back with 53 records total, and well, at some point we were we were joking about like how are we going to get all these albums so on, but then we kept getting a little more and a little more, and we kept joking like, are we going to end up having to ship this stuff to ourselves? But we did it. Like this tunnel bag was just jam packed full of albums that I was carrying, and then my like luggage bag was this duffel bag that I took my clothes and stuff in. And at one of the shops, we were talking to the guy about how many albums we've been getting and how we're going to get them home. And so he put our purchases in this box. So in case we need this box for something. So this came in handy because I ended up putting this box full of albums in my duffel bag and then put my clothes all over it, and it was heavy as shit with like 30 albums in here. Yeah, that's how we traveled back. So yeah, I'll just go through these and kind of try to remember stuff about these stores. The first place, I went out on my own for like 5-6 hours, and I looked up some places, and it seemed like the easiest places to get to. And I actually came upon the first place. I didn't notice it when I looked stuff up. I just happened to see it after I made a turn on some street. Frisbee's CD Exchange, bright yellow sign, I think it was. But I did notice it also said vinyl, used, new. So I stopped in there real quick. And it was a cool store. It was mostly used, but some reissues also. And it seemed to focus, I didn't see a whole lot of jazz. It seemed to focus more on rock, classic rock, heavy rock, metal, just doom. But it didn't really dominate the store. It was evenly spread out. It's like used rock, used, whatever. There was some soul in there, some jazz. But I ended up getting this Amandoul 2, Viva la Trance, which I don't have, 1974. So yeah, picked that up. And I went for this Bloodstains Across Norway. I have Bloodstains Across California, and it's a whole series of them. And I figured, the California. When it comes to like punk and thrash and stuff, I'm really into the California West Coast kind of thing. So I didn't even know there was a Norway. So I saw this, I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. Bloodstains Across Norway. And then from there, I went to, I guess it's a local chain, small chain, Revolver Records. They have 3 locations, I think. I went to 2 of them. The first one was in this cool little area, Elmwood Village. And it was a nice store. But again, I was trying to be selective and, not buy too much to take back. So I got 2 things at that first Revolver. And this album, I've been wanting for a long time, but I just don't see it here in Southern California for some reason, even though it's a LA band, Tierra. 1973, and this is an offspring of El Chicano, the Salas brothers, I think, started this band. But man, I can't find this, and here it was, Buffalo Revolver Records. So yeah, nice one. And then, they had reissues. It was kind of thing, they had reissues all on the ground floor. And then you walk up these steps, and then that's their used. So I was looking through some of their reissues, and this is an album I got for Jim. I don't have any Boris, but I got this for Jim on his birthday, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I can't remember exactly. And he said afterwards, it's a killer album. I had never heard any Boris. So I'm like, cool, I'll get it. But then I didn't see it around anymore. So here it was, this, what's this called? At Last, Feedbacker? Yeah, so I finally got this and am able to listen to it. And then there was another Revolver I went to, wasn't very far away. Got a couple things there. Another LA thing that I've been looking for, I don't see. This El Chicano second album, on Cap. Yeah, I've been wanting this for a long time. I think I have like 5, their first 5, 4 or 5. I think that's good enough. Mickey Lespron, Bobby Espinosa, El Chicano. And just kind of for the hell of it, and also because it's very thin, so I figured it's not going to take up that much room. And cheap is a Saxon 12-inch single of 747. But I got it just for the hell of it because there's a live version of Stallions of the Highway from their first album. But it doesn't say where the live version is from. I mean, I'll get it for that. I like getting this kind of stuff when I come across it, especially the Nwabum. I think I have a Michael Schenker 12-inch with like a song that was only on that, and Malmsteen with like a live version of something that was only on the 12-inch. Yeah, it's kind of cool. They're usually cheap too. So yeah, and that was the second Revolver. Then I went to this place kind of north. Was it North Buffalo, Tonawanda? This place called Soul Stop, and yeah, it's almost, it looks like a house, like along the street. But a big sign outside, Soul Stop. Yeah, this was an excellent store. As you can imagine with the name, it kind of leans that way, but of course, jazz, international African grooves, that kind of thing. This was mostly used, but there were certain reissues there, but like really obscure stuff that I don't see anymore, and certain things that are like kind of common. But the used, I think all I got there is used. And again, more things that I've been on the lookout for. Like I really, for a long time, been wanting this Fred Wesley. I Am Somebody. Damn right I am somebody. But I just don't see it. And I know there's a reissue, but I was like, I don't care about that reissue. But this is a Spanish copy. And I'm like, yeah, this is the one I'm gonna get. Yeah, Fred Wesley and the JBs. Yeah, this place seemed to have a good amount of imports, and I think there was a box of just Japanese pressings, but there were also Japanese pressings kind of in the bins throughout the store. And I got, well, let's see here. This is an album I had like in high school I got, but my copy was never very good, and I got rid of it at some point and just never got it again. But it had this Japanese copy. I'm like, yeah, I'm on vacation. And I got this Paco de Lucia, which this is another one. I used to see it a lot. Now I don't see it as much anymore. A None Such Explorer that I don't have. Africa, Witchcraft, and Ritual Music. And this is a sealed copy. Yeah, this is nice. Another one, I've been wanting some of her stuff, anything by her, but with this album in mind, this chess collection of Sugar Pie Di Santo, down in the basement. Yeah, this is one of those. I actually don't think this is I think this technically isn't a reissue, even though it came out in the late 80s. I think they created it in the late 80s to put together of her chess singles or checker. Yeah, Sugar Pie Di Santo. It started with Johnny Otis. Believe it or not, yeah, I've been wanting this for a long time, but it seems like the copies I come across are never that great. But this is a really nice copy of that. Got a nice blues section. I think it was only one row, like a full row, but a nice selection of stuff in there. So I got a Smoky Hog, someone I don't have anything from. You Better Watch That Jive on the Specialty label. I think this is all stuff from the 40s. Yeah, UK pressing, which is a plus. And another one, this is one of those, it rarely happens anymore with me, where I see a record and I have that reaction, because I just would never expect to see this. And it's something I've been wanting to find, is this Joanne Kelly. I've been wanting this record, I don't know for how long. And it's so like deep in here, I don't even like think about it anymore. So when I saw it, just flipping through, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Yeah, And this is a Dutch pressing, so even better. Yeah, Joanne Kelly, singing the blues. She's on, I only have the stuff. She's on a bunch of the British blues compilations that were coming out. Like, there's a song of her that she sings. It seems like on every one that I have. But yeah, and she just belts it out. And I'm sure there are people that know Joanne Kelly, but people who don't, like, by the looks of her, when you hear her voice, it's just like, whoa. So yeah, that was Soul Stop. Excellent place. But I was talking to the guy who owns the place, and it just seemed like such a cool little store. You know, it's the kind of store like if John, 6-inch pianist, ever was in Buffalo, found himself in Buffalo, New York, he's got to go there. Same with like Lawrence. Yeah, great place. And I'm like, yeah, my wife, I think I'm going to bring my wife back tomorrow. So yeah, we ended up going back the next day, the two of us, and I had already looked through everything. And I was kind of going back and forth about just picking up something else. I ended up getting this. I've always been curious about the originals, California Sunset, on Motown, 1975, produced by Lamont Dozier. I mean, I don't know anything about what this sounds like, but just by the cover, I'm like, let me get it. And then, so yeah, I went back to Soul Stop with my wife the next day. The two of us went out and went to the Soul Stop. And here's their card. Yeah, cool place. So we went to that Soul Stop because I'm like, yeah, we got to take you there. And I only got that one record the second time, but she got an armful, which I'm going to show. And then we went to Black Dots, is the name of it. Yeah, that was a nice little store too. And I think we were pressing on time, so I didn't really look at a good amount of records. I managed to find a couple. I wasn't really seeing much interesting jazz until this Black Dots. Yeah, Dollar Brand. Africa, Tears and Laughter, 1979. Enja, I didn't have. That was a nice shop. The other thing about that Soul Stop is the prices were really fair. And so is this Black Dots. And the other thing I got there is this Roscoe Mitchell 3x4i. Roscoe Mitchell and Sound Ensemble, Black Saint, 1981. Yeah, sealed copy. Here. Let's go for it. And then I wanted to go to this place I saw online, Out There Records. So we went there. And this place it seems like an old office building, and it's just on the ground floor, like a small office building, and it's on the ground floor. Nice rectangular space, neat, but like 95% reissues, but reissues of stuff that either I don't see or I used to see 2, 3, 4 years ago, but like they're not around anymore. Like he had stuff like that, a lot of rock, a lot of indie stuff, international. I mean, it was kind of all over the map. But when we walked in, the first thing I noticed in the front of one of the rows is this Sonic's Rendezvous Band. 1980 live. Where is this at? Yeah, but I've been wanting some kind of one of these Fred Sonic Smith Rendezvous Band things. Yeah, so this is the first thing I saw. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be this is gonna be a place. So yeah, it was mostly reissues, and he had a few, like a little bit of used, but again, more select kind of things. In the used section, I found this. This is Souffle Continu, but technically, I guess it's used. It's a used copy they had in there, and this Guru. It's hard to even read this. Mani un sein Freund from 1975. The only Guru I have is the UFO. But what prompted me to get this is Champion Jack Dupree is on this. Everything's in German, but I think he's listed on one song or something. But I didn't realize Champion Jack Dupree played with Guru. So yeah, check that out. This Universe Zero. I don't know what album it is. Says recorded in August 77. This is in there used. And he threw this in at the end, I think just because we were buying so much. Leo Ornstein, Quintet for Piano and Strings, 3 Moods. Nice cover. And so then the reissues I got there, this Poder del Alma out of Nicaragua. This is the one album I've listened to since I've been back. Yeah, really nice. Latin, kind of salsa, like some tasty guitar licks, killer trumpet lines. Yeah, really killer stuff. This Idris's Dream, Idris Akamor, I guess under the Collective. This might have been before the Pyramids. Live at Kelly Hall, August 1971, double. Yeah, it was good to get that. And then that was it. And we were going to head out the next day. And we were like, man, we got a lot of albums, a lot of records to take home. So we just, my wife and I were joking around. And so I'm like, hey, that out there isn't that far from the hotel. It wasn't very far from where we were staying. I'm like, hey, we want to go back there one more time before we go to the airport. We have room for maybe 6 to 8 more albums. So she's like, yeah, because she had left something behind that she later was like, I should have got that. So that's why I said, yeah, you want to go back. So I just got all 3 of these Abdul El Omaris. I think is there more than 3? Or is there 4? Is there a blue cover one? But yeah, they had these 3. I just got them. So yeah, real quick, let's go through. I'll go through what Nanette got. Most of these used, I think pretty much all of them, are from that Soul Stop. This is Nancy Sinatra. Says she got this for our daughter Coltrane. The Songs of Bobby Short. I haven't really looked through these. ABBA. She got. This is one I think both of us have been wanting this, but she's really been on a Mavis Staples kick last 5 years. I guess it's not a kick now. She's really into Mavis Staples, and she's been wanting a copy of this. And we finally found one. I'm like, yeah, you can have it. This was in there. I already shown that last time. Apocalypse Now soundtrack. She has been on a country kick lately, like old country. She went to see a Marty Stewart concert a couple months ago, and since that, she's been wanting to get country albums. Dolly Parton, New Harvest, First Gathering. Like, I really don't know anything about this stuff. Dolly, The Seeker. We used to. Well, anyway. Hymns by Johnny Cash. Tom T. Hall. I remember that guy when I was a kid. Like the name. Another Dolly Parton. Loretta Lynn, another Tom T. Hall, Merle Haggard sings great songs of Jimmy Rogers, 2-record set. Yeah, that's the used stuff she got, and the new stuff. I think these are all from that out there. This is John Carpenter. I think she also said she also got this for our kid. She's trying to get all the Nils Frahm she can. So she got these two, Empty and Winter Music. The mail is here. Another Nils Frahm felt. Another Nils Frahm. And another Nils Frahm, Tripping with Nils Frahm. And this is the album she wanted to get originally when we were there, but she thought I had it. But then she asked me later, don't you have that Brooklyn Sounds? And I'm like, no. So we went back because she wanted to get this. Brooklyn Sounds, like New York. It makes me kind of think of the Ghetto Brothers, so I have no idea if it's that same kind of sound. But yeah, we'll see. And we were talking about being selective. I'm like, we got to be selective about the stuff. But then she said, you know what? I'm just getting these because they're here and I'm seeing them. And so she got this El Michel's Affair, Return to the 37th Chamber. I have the Return to the 36th Chamber, but for some reason when this came out, I don't know why, I really liked that other one, but I wasn't really compelled to get this for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was maybe the cover. But yeah, she got it. And also this Delvon Lamar. She has a bunch of Delvon Lamar albums. She actually texted our daughter to ask, because I'm like, I think you have this. And she's like, I don't know. So she texted, and yeah, this is the only one she doesn't have. So she ended up getting it. And there's L7, which I only know by name. I don't know if I've heard them. I mean, I may have, but not known that it was L7. And Bjork. Wow, this is a heavy record. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't know anything about a lot of these records. Another Bjork. Like, I don't know the titles of these. Nice. And Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Black Star says she's been wanting this. Yeah, and that's it. We got it all together, and we were able to get everything back home safe and sound. Oh yeah, and at that Soul Stop, this is the other thing I had to pack and kind of be careful so they don't get messed up, are these sleeves from the Soul Stop. Because the sleeves he was using on him, I'm like, man, these are the sleeves I want. They're like clearer, crispier slightly sleeves than the soft stuff. Yeah, I really like these. So yeah, able to get that back. Yeah, that was it. Buffalo. Yeah, some nice places, and always great to have an adventure. We had a nice birthday dinner for her mom. Yeah, cool place. Cold, but really nice. There we go. Oh yeah, the background. I was listening to this before we left. Yeah, it's a nice listen. Dewan Muhammad, Deep Stream. All right, everyone take care.